What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jobbers and Goons, and if you are seeing this video, it means we crossed 25,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the love and support, and what better way to celebrate than to return to a series that really helped blow my channel up, which is the Goon series. We talk about the biggest menaces in fiction, the biggest boys to exist. And I realized I never touched on Frieza in this series. And with me today to celebrate one of the most beloved races to ever exist, we have my boy Weeaboo Warrior, if you want to say what up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I heard that Goon was making a video on Frieza, gonna do a Goon video, and I was like, I gotta be a part of that because Frieza is one of my favorite anime characters of all time, and he is an absolute Goon, so I just wanted to get in on the action.
Yeah, we're going to bounce back and forth. Me and him basically brought 5 of our favorite moments. If you want a part 2 on Frieza or more from Dragon Ball, hit me up in the comment section down below. Smash the like button, subscribe to both my channel and Weeaboo Warrior. He is the king of tier lists. And definitely will be reviewing some of his recent work in live streams and podcasts soon. But without further ado, we're going to get into the Goon video for Frieza. I hope you enjoy, and let's begin. So, first up, for my moments, it probably had no business being this funny to me. When I was watching one of the Dragon Ball movies, I want to say it's Resurrection F. I might be wrong, not the best at remembering.
Correct.
I think, okay, it is. All right, dope. But this is a movie in which Frieza's back. He's got the sauce. He puts that shit on, right? Obviously, he's being a jerk, per usual. And when he's fighting, my boy starts losing. That's okay, because there's only one way to react as a Goon, right? And that's to blow everything up. So as he's losing, he's like, yo, you think you have hands, which you do, you're beating my ass, but all your friends will die because you wanted to put the paws on me, and proceeds to just nuke the planet, because if he can't win, no one can ball. And it literally forced an arc of them like going back in time to stop that and whatnot. It was hilarious. Classic Frieza moment. I mean, it just encapsulates who he is as a character. If I can't have fun, no one can. And yeah, that's it for my first moment. Weeb, what you got?
Yeah, I just want to touch on the one you said real quick. That is, like you said, it's a classic Frieza moment. He consistently does that. He did it on Namek as well against Super Saiyan Goku. But in Resurrection F, he learned his lesson and not just destroyed the core, he just blew the planet up outright. So that there was no chance.
He learned how to be a better hater.
Yeah, and luckily for Frieza, he doesn't need oxygen, or he could survive in a vacuum. So he's like, everyone else is screwed but him.
Yeah, it is great. And well, also, just so everyone knows, we're pulling from different medias with Frieza. It's not just like Dragon Ball Z and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going to pass the rock and let's see what we put on his list.
Okay. So I am starting with the OG Dragon Ball Z. I had to talk about this moment because Frieza is the progenitor of the meme, "This is not even my final form." So I just wanted to talk about how every time they thought they had a slight chance against him, he just pulled out another transformation. Like, out of like every character in fiction, I don't know if anyone just has as many random transformations as Frieza, that he made himself to suppress himself for some reason like 3 times over. Like, other people just keep getting new forms, unlocking new forms. Frieza's just like, no, I just start with like 4 forms, and then he has like multiple power-ups in his final form. And the thing is, he never even gets his like ass whooped in any of them except until Goku turns Super Saiyan. He just transforms just to beat them easier. Like, first form, he could have beat Frieza, or he could have beat Vegeta and everybody else with just his first form at that time, but Vegeta was slightly making him struggle and asked him to transform, so he obliged. And then he destroyed them all and stabbed Krillin through the gut with his horn. And then after that, Piccolo came up, and Piccolo matched him, but then he's like, nah, I don't like struggling, so he transformed again, beat Piccolo's ass, and then Gohan raged out and like somewhat made him struggle, and Frieza was noticing how they kept powering up and whatnot, and even though he still didn't have to, he transformed again just for the hell of it. And then he instantly killed Dende, who was healing everybody, and just started like whooping everybody's ass, including Goku with Kaioken, because Frieza wasn't even using 50% of his power. He was using like a minuscule percent of his power. Then decided, yeah, I'm gonna go 50% now, and was beating Kaioken times 20 Goku. Then took a Spirit Bomb, and then he's like, and then Goku went Super Saiyan after he killed Krillin. And then he's like, nah, I'm going to use 70% of my power, and blasted Goku away. and then he was charging up more, and finally he went 100%, and he matched the legendary Super Saiyan that was like a legend of like 1,000 years. Frieza, without any training, could just match that power, but since he didn't train and he got all bulky, like he just couldn't maintain his power and kind of was caught lacking. And back to what you said before, the blowing up planet thing, he could have just hit the planet again and blew it up like Goku said, but Frieza's just like, nah, I want to throw hands. I want to prove I'm the strongest in the universe. And while that didn't go too well for him, you kind of have to respect him for that. He could have just blown up the planet again. And we know Frieza's not really a fair fighter, but he just had that much confidence in himself. And he did it decently well against Super Saiyan Goku, too.
Yeah, his form shit was ridiculous. I remember as a kid watching, I'm like, yo, why is he changing just to change? Like, he didn't have to do all that, but it's part of the principle of being a menace.
Yeah. Like, I could understand 1 or 2 maybe transformations, but I just want to know what was going through Toriyama's mind. He's like, yeah, no, I'm going to give him 3 extra transformations. Like, it's just such a like funny thing story-wise. Like, and like the 3rd transformation like lasted like 1 or 2 chapters. It's like almost useless story-wise, but he just has that many transformations.
Hey, if you could put that shit on, you put that shit on. It's how it works. But for my next moment, kind of reaching back to what he was saying, I want to talk about when Frieza first showed up. So, when you first read Dragon Ball Z, Saiyans show up, cool. Goku shows up, beats their ass. Krillin was actually a G in that. He was going to just stab Vegeta while he was down. Should have let him cook, but Goku's like, nah, eventually I'll beat him. Which I don't think in canon, Goku's actually won a 1v1 with Vegeta. So, hold that, Goku. But the shit with Frieza was funny because when he showed up, Buddy was rolling around and just killing people. And it wasn't like he was killing random people. He was killing people that mattered. He was shooting Goku's friends out the sky. He was talking crazy shit. If you had any semblance of belief you could kick his ass, you were probably going to die. And just seeing him talk so crazy while manhandling everybody, he was one of the true first, like, oh shit, this villain's actually going to kill us. He wasn't just beating people up. He was literally like, oh, I see that's your man right there. I'll just eviscerate him. And boom, they're dead. And you're like, damn, how many characters that hang out with the main character are going to die at this point? As a kid, I was pressed. I was like, yo, everyone's going to die. This is rough. Like, is the story going to end here? And just for him to be that crazy, talk that much shit, and literally back it up right away as this little dude riding around by just murking people that were important to the story. Top tier comedy, and one of the funnier aspects of his character, because like a lot of people talk shit and get wrecked, but for the most part, Frieza's backing up the crazy shit he's saying. And with that, we hit him with the next one.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to jump to Dragon Ball Super. Before the Tournament of Power, I'm talking about when the dog and the other assassin showed up from Universe 9, and Frieza just absolutely demolishes them, like no mercy. Instantly shoots a death beam through the dog guy. Then he like goes golden in like the most epic transformation ever, like just being super extra with that transformation, throwing his hands up and like, this is just a warm up. And then he just like taps him on the head and they blow
so
up.
Clean too. That was such a clean design.
Yeah, and they used that transformation like 4 other times in like the Tournament of Power because it looks so good. But yeah, and then like after he was like just obliterating them, then Sidra, the god of destruction, like lent one of them the god of destruction energy, and then Frieza just overpowered that and tamed that. And then the god of destruction and like the Supreme Kai called him on their little thing. And a side note, like they were mentioning how they knew about Frieza from GodTube and how ruthless he was. Like Frieza's he's got like probably like 1 million subscribers or something on GodTube or something. I don't know, but yeah. So they want to get him on their team for the Universe tournament, and Frieza was considering it, but their offer wasn't good enough. And then like Beaver showed up and he's like, "Oh no, you're out of time, too late." And then yeah, but it was just like such an epic moment that they had before the Tournament of Power to hype up Frieza and like in his like new controlled golden state, because he actually like mastered that form just from sitting in a cocoon in hell thinking of how he was going to kill Goku.
Yeah, just sitting there plotting on people. He got stronger. This man's chained up, but his hate was so amazing. He had the sauce just from that. Like in theory, he was getting stronger and it was reality just because he hated them that bad. That's goat shit. Like that's top tier hating. And we're gonna move into some more top tier hating with how comfortably racist towards Saiyans he was. And of course, like I'm gonna play it at the beginning of the video, the monkey line with the Saiyans.
Hello, monkeys. I have such high expectations for you.
Miserable Saiyan monkeys. Nasty monkeys.
First of all, you take it out of context. Frieza's canceled. He's done for. Like if you hit him with a super edit, he's cooked. But the reason it's so funny how he treats them, and obviously it's terrible what he does. I'm not advocating for people to do Frieza shit, but he pulls up, hates on them, and win or lose, he's still gonna talk crazy about their people. He's still gonna call them monkeys. He's still gonna call them dumb as fuck. He's still going to pull up on them and try to kill them when he can. Blew up their planet already. He literally has no respect for them. He's like, bro, y'all are just strong for the sake of being strong. I'm actually out here putting in work. Fuck you, monkeys. That's how he feels about the damn Saiyans. And the fact that he talks to them so crazy and he laughs in their face and that's consistent, win or lose, that's next level hating. Like it's one thing to hate and then get humbled and you're like, okay, maybe I'll knock it off. It's another to get humbled and not be humble and still hate to the same degree and use that hate to get stronger. Shout out to Frieza for letting the hate overcome him like a true Sith Lord. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Weeb for the next one.
Yeah, and it's funny because he does have basically the Force. He's one of the only characters with telekinetic abilities. Maybe he does have the dark side.
Yeah, he's the perfect Sith, dude. He's like, first of all, it's funny because they are monkeys. Like they turn into giant monkeys. But just the way he says it, like he means it as a slur.
Yeah.
You know what he means. You're like, damn, bro.
And speaking of how like shit talks when he's losing, even when he was cut in half, he was like talking shit to Goku. Like after Goku gave him his energy again, he's just floating there, like just talking like smack to him, like, yeah, whatever. I'm still the best, and you're like gonna die on this planet.
He's like, your people suck. That's why they all died. It's beautiful shit talk.
Yeah. And I just love how extra he got like in Super. I think they just like brought it up and like notch. Like every other line was monkey.
Yeah, bro. He's gonna remind them about their tales that they tried to hide. It's rough.
And speaking about the Saiyans and his hate for him, my next moment is Frieza beating on the Saiyans in the universe, or in the Tournament of Power, the Universe 6 Saiyans. And the anime, it was Kaba. Like Kaba just finished defeating like that like roly-poly bitch. And then Frieza just shows up and it's like, oh, I want to fight you now. You seem strong. And then like Kaba's going after him, like, and then Frieza's just like one-handing, blocking him, like as he's like backstepping, like casually, just blocking everything he has, smacks him back, and like grabs him, like how he's saying how he loves strong fighters but hates Saiyans, which is kind of a creepy line. But yeah, and then he like completely disrespects Kaba, and the Kaba transforms, and Frieza like just goes golden just like to show him what's up. I don't know if he actually needed to go golden, but yeah, he just completely wrecks him and then just knocks his ass out. And then in the manga, oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it's pretty crazy how Frieza, and I personally loved him in the Tournament of Power. I was pissed Boo didn't show up, but it is what it is. But he's so consistent with his hate that you could literally be from another universe, and it's still beef. It's still beef with your race. He's like, no, y'all suck regardless.
Yep, and then in the manga, they take that in a little bit of a different direction. Instead of Kaba, well, Kaba kind of gets in on the action, but his main opponent is mostly like Khalifa. And Khalifa and Kale is a little bit in there. And then so he's like fighting Khalifa, and he's winning. And then she goes Super Saiyan against him. But then he goes golden just to beat her ass. And he's literally like death beaming her in the air. He's not letting her touch the ground. He's just constantly like death beaming her like over and over again, trying to send her out and just like torturing her in the ring. And then that's when Kale steps in and like starts going berserk. But before she does that, like Frieza's like taking on all the Saiyans at once and just beating their ass. And he just literally goes out of his way to target the Saiyans just because he hates them so much. He's just, yeah, I just want to beat on them in this tournament. It's like free chance to beat on more Saiyans. And
which is crazy too, because everywhere they're respected for their power. But you know who doesn't respect that shit?
Yeah.
Frieza.
Yeah, Frieza. Yeah, he just hates those monkeys. But I'm kind
So
of sad
bad.
we didn't see him fight Khalifa and Kale in the anime, but it is what it is. It would have been cool to see. I just wanted to see Khalifa get put in her place by Frieza.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Nah. It was always in my opinion, the best moments of the tournament is when Frieza's getting in the mix because he
Yeah,
does not give a shit. So it's about
yeah.
to get real.
And they
And
literally blue balled us at that one moment because he was literally about to attack
true.
the two girl Saiyans, and then like Goku's like, "No, this is my fight."
Yeah. To be honest, Goku saved him an even worse ass beating. But
Yeah.
I digress. That's shout out to Big Frieza. And moving into his next moment, it's from Z. It's just personally one of my favorite villain intros. First of all, Vegeta, regardless of if you think he's a jobber, which he is, valid, Vegeta shows up and puts in work. Like, he's a big dog. And then we go from that to Vegeta being like, look, jokes aside, shit talk aside, I would never swing on my boss. Like, you don't want beef with Frieza. You don't want to know who I work for. You don't want them to come here. Like, that's a real L if they show up. So you're like, damn, who's this big dog? Like, this dude's probably big as shit. Gonna beat the hell out of these people when he shows up on some Hulk shit, right? Frieza shows up. This man's like a little Yoda, right? Reminds me of Yoda instantly. He's in a cart floating around and he's talking crazy. Like, he's just in this little cart telling his boys, like, oh, Vegeta's here and he thinks he has hands? All right. Someone go beat it. Kiwi. Go beat his ass. Which I think it's pronounced Kui, but I call him Kiwi because it's funny to me. But he's like this little dude in a little cart. And I couldn't help but think, like, bro, if I was a villain, I would do the same shit. I'd roll around a little pimp cart and I would talk crazy. And if you really want hands, I'll kill everyone you love. And I'll blow your planet up if I start losing. Like, he just literally, he moves like a goon. He moves like a menace. That cart was so funny. It was literally like an evil Yoda. Like, when Yoda flies around in that little pod and just says smart, wise stuff, you have Frieza talking shit in his little pod and blowing people up. Godly.
Yeah, talk about him not even training. Dude is probably like atrophied due to not even having to walk on his own. He goes
Yeah,
that all the time.
He's just floating around talking crazy. Like, hey, do you want me to step out this pod? Because it's not, you're gonna die. Like, I can do that. He's shooting planets from the safety of his pad. Like, it's bad. Shout out Frieza's pimp card. That's
like
one
in
of my
the
favorite
like real
aspects.
life version of like some guy in a wheelchair going around who doesn't need a wheelchair. He just uses an electric wheelchair and goes around whacking people with a cane or something.
It's legit unnecessary, but when it's Frieza, it's super necessary. And with that, I'm gonna pass it off to Weeb for his next moment.
Okay, I'm going back to the Tournament of Power. This is going to be the moment where Frieza takes on Jamizu, which is the Yard Rat from Universe. What was it, like 10 or something? One of the, not Universe 10, I don't know. One of the universes, the one with Ribrianne, I think. I don't know why they have a Yard Rat, but that guy could use instant transmission, and so he's like beating Gohan's ass because Gohan kind of sucks. Sorry for Gohan lovers, but yeah, Gohan's getting his ass beat just because this guy can teleport. And then Frieza shows up and is like, nah, and then he starts like intervening with the fight and just smacking him down. And he's like, oh no, okay, I'll let Gohan fight. And then Gohan starts getting his ass whipped again. And then Frieza just like knocks Jamizu's like energy blast out of the way. And he's like, what? I thought you were just not going to step in. And he's like, nah, I step in when I feel like it. And then he just starts beating his ass. And then, yeah, like he's like, there's nothing to your instant transmission. Just because when you're teleporting, as long as you're like faster and stronger, you should have the capability of just like kind of like guessing where they're going to go, or like right when they go, like just like speed blitz them and smash them. And then that's what Frieza did, but Gohan couldn't do, Frieza could. So Frieza's not only like a prodigy in power, he's just better than Gohan at fighting too, and he proved that against Jamizu.
Yeah, I mean, Gohan is a bit of a jobber. It's not his fault. They did him dirty with the writing because
he doesn't want to be a fighter. I'll be honest with this. So yeah, it's not. Yeah,
he doesn't want to have hands, and as a result, he doesn't have hands like Frieza. It happens. But to be fair to him as well, 99% of people don't have hands like Frieza. So it's like, all right, that's true. Not really hate. But going into my last moment before I pass it back for Weeb to close it out, I want to talk about my favorite Frieza moment for the Tournament of Power. And that was him interacting with Frost. So if you guys don't know, Frost is essentially just like Frieza, at least in terms of his anatomy, his race, all that, but he's from a different universe. And the reason this is important is for perspective, other characters would fight beings that were the same race as them, but from parallel universes, and they would bond with them. Goku's dumbass would train them to make them stronger, help them see their potential, stuff like that. Then you get the Frost. And Frieza's little broing Frost, right? He's like, hey, what's up, little bro? Come here. Like, you know I'm really the big dog. And I'll never forget people being like, oh, do you think he's going to bond with Frost? Do you think they're going to come together as, like, members of their race? It's like, dude, do y'all not know who Frieza is? There's no way this goes well for Frost. Like, there's no shot he has good intentions. And, of course, it was almost like a duality of man-meme between him and how Goku treated the Saiyans. Like, he saw one of his boys, he little broed him, and then did him dirty. Whereas Goku was like trying to train them and bring the best out of them. It was just so funny to me that for a second people were like, oh man, maybe Frieza really is gonna like bond with Frost. It's like, no, bro. He's gonna fuck him up as soon as he gets the chance. He's just messing with him because he's a dick.
There can only be one Frieza.
Yeah, like it's only he's 1-on-1. Like, he's not gonna support that hustle. He's just trolling, and just seeing him stay committed to the character was amazing. Like, it was one of my favorite things about it. And with that moment covered, Weeb, finish it off for us.
Okay, my last moment is from the Broly movie, where Frieza kills Paragus and then blames it on just a random energy blast, and then it's like shows me like, Broly, look, your dad just died, but it wasn't me. And then Broly goes Super Saiyan. And then like wrecks everybody's shit for the rest of the movie. But that was just such a dirty move. Just like uses Paragus as a tool like that. Just kills him so his son thinks so his son grieves for him, and then goes Super Saiyan for his amusement.
This man, he paid for it. That ass whooping he took in that movie was crazy.
Yeah,
Frieza got his
it's
ass
crazy.
beat.
Yeah, he like it was for like an hour straight, and he was still like kind of good to go. Frieza could take a beating. That's one thing he's good at.
He's like, all right, regardless, I'm staying in the pocket with this Broly guy. Proceeds to just get beat on for an hour and was still like talking his shit like, I'm not dead. And he's still insane. He's still a bum regardless if he's winning. It's like, bro, how long are they going to let Frieza get beat up? And that's the unfortunate part about being a goon, is people will let you get beat up for an hour straight. They're not going to rush coming back.
In the Broly movie, I do have one more thing I don't mention, like my little bonus thing is I really loved how Frieza just wanted the Dragon Balls to wish to become 5 centimeters taller. Like, he's like, he doesn't want immortality anymore, because like that would just be too easy, and Frieza's too much of a goon to want it to be that easy. He's like, nah, I just want to be a little taller, but it's got to be small enough to where people think I'm still growing, and he didn't actually wish for it. That's just crazy. Like that he actually was like spent the time just to get the Dragon Balls. Like the whole movie, the whole movie was for that. And like he could be tall with the second form. This guy even brings it up. It's like, no, I want to be taller in this one in my golden form. I don't want to be in that form.
The game of inches, bro. And like if he shows up wearing lifts, people are like, yeah, we're familiar with your game. It had to be natural, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy because he does have like clear anatomy manipulation. So like I wonder if he really trained for it. He probably could just make himself taller.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm pretty sure his golden form's a little taller than his regular one too. But yeah, I don't know if he could just make it the form that
the duality of philosophies of goons. They just do what they want. But that's our part 1. Frieza being an absolute menace. Let us know what you think of Frieza in the comment section down below. Let us know your favorite moment. Again, this is one of my favorite villains in fiction, regardless of anime, manga, like fiction in general. I'm a huge Frieza guy. Weeb is too. So make sure to check out his channel, his content, show him some love. And again, thank you guys so much for 25,000 subs. That's been a huge goal of mine. Eventually, I want to hit 100K and beyond, and hopefully we continue to grow. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And before we head out, I'm going to let my boy Weeb plug his content even better than I could. So here you go. Floor is yours.
Yep, so I make mainly strength and power tier lists, ranking the characters and how strong they are. Right now I'm working on a Hunter x Hunter list, but topic of the day is Dragon Ball, and I will be working on a Dragon Ball list. I actually started my reread already. I want to get that out before Daima comes out, but that's going to be multiple parts. But yeah, if you want another Frieza video, let us know, and I would definitely be down to come back for that. I'm thinking there might be another form Frieza has that we didn't even talk about, so that would be a good one for part 2.
He's
But
got
yeah,
so
that's all I
many,
have to
so many
say.
moments. I could make a Goon series off just his first appearance. Like, it's so crazy. But that's what makes it great. That's why I format it this way, because you can always return with even more. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Bye.
You monkey! A Saiyan can't beat me. A monkey can't beat me.